Hello. All right. We are live. There is no presentation today as I had some technical difficulties with that. So if you're here, go ahead and say hi, and we're just going to do some Q&A today. That's all we'll be doing. Hello, everybody. If you're here, say hi. Only doing Q&A today. There is no presentation. Hello. Well, until there we... Hello, bus driver. Let's go ahead and play some music here while I wait for people to jump on, ask questions. This live is this Q&A today, just going to be on for 30 or 40 minutes or so, and then we'll just do that. No presentation today. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, I see some people jumping in. Today is just going to be Q&A. I had some technical difficulty with the presentation. We'll not be able to do that tonight, but we will have a little Q&A. So if you're here, go ahead and say hi, ask questions. If not, I guess I can just start talking about stuff. The lovely cold weather we're having. It's going to get really cold here tonight. Minus 10, I think, wind chill or so. So that's going to be fun. So yep, this is Q&A tonight, guys. Anybody that's here, that's all we're going to do tonight. If you're here, just say hi. Say hello. Where are you tuning in from? Any questions? No presentation tonight. Just a live Q&A. Nice cold winter weather moving through the country right now. I think the East Coast is going to get a lot of snow. If If you're in here, go ahead and say hi. Anything you want to talk about, anything at all. Questions about microgreens or any question that you have, I will try to answer about our business, what we're doing in our business, what we're growing, anything. So, yeah, no presentation, as had some technical difficulties with that. So just doing live Q&A. If I don't get anybody in here asking questions soon, we'll probably just go ahead and hop off. All right, I'm just going to wait a few minutes to see if we get any questions. Anybody want to talk about anything at all? Open to anything. Hello, anybody that's showing up. Today is just going to be Q&A. Or any questions or anything you guys got, ladies got. No presentation tonight, as we had some difficulties with that. Chris Elliott, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm very beginning stage. What do you recommend to start with resource-wise? Resource-wise, obviously, watch videos on how to grow, learn from other people that have done it, figure out your equipment and how much you want to start with. I recommend starting with one rack and then building out from there. One rack into 2 racks into 3. Make sure you have enough trays. You need double the trays that you normally that you think you're gonna need. Are you on any courses? Did you buy any courses, starting courses? Where did you start learning to grow, and what got you in that? So, because we personally started with the course. Well, we started growing microgreens for ourselves, but we wanted to take it serious and do a business. We started with Curtis Stone's course that has Donnie Green in it as well, and all that. That was a great resource for us to start growing commercially and learning in and out of doing more commercial stuff. So definitely a recommendation there, which have a link in our videos for that as well. Thank you for the awesome setup. Appreciate that. But yeah, I would need more information of what, where you're at within your growing. Are you growing for yourself? Are you growing commercially? Where are you planning on selling at? I mean, a lot of different factors of how you want to start. We literally started with a $50 rack that we got from a closed down restaurant. 30 trays of each, top and bottom, so 30 sets, which we didn't realize we needed the top set tray for weight at that time. So we had to buy more, but so definitely knowing what you need to start with is a big factor. So very beginning stages, if you're not growing commercially yet, I'd get very small resources, very small amount of stuff, and learn your growing. Not yet. I use a huge garden outside. Awesome, love gardens. I bought the LED lights before COVID. Bought the LED lights before COVID, looking at growing for a family of 5. That's awesome. If you're growing just for a family of 5, we have a family of 6 that we grew for. One rack, really almost one shelf of a rack, 4 trays or so could feed a family of 5 every week and rotate. So definitely Definitely don't need to start with a lot and then get that grow down and then start sharing it with my recommendation, start sharing with neighbors, families. They like it and start expanding from there. Miss Vaughn, welcome. Thank you. Trying to eliminate blackout in your grow cycle with solid mix. Test trace short if we go straight into lights on the germ suggestions. How many days are you germinating for? That'd be the first question I have to comment on that. And how many days are you under lights? So if you could explain more of your total growth cycle a little bit. Again, more detail, but from what we have a salad mix video. We do the spicy salad mix from True Leaf on our channel. And we do 3 days weighted, 7 days underneath lights. And we are getting almost 8 ounces on average, 7.5 to 8 ounces on average. So. 3 to 4 underneath lights? Or is that germination? 3 germination, 4 under lights? If that's what that means, I'd recommend going. They can go 7 days under light easy. Yeah, they're ready to harvest. You can do that. 3 to 4 days germ. Yeah, we do 3 days. They come out great. They look short when they come out of germination. The main thing you're trying to do in germination is get that weight on them and let them start germinating, obviously, and growing and pushing up that tray a little bit, but is to get that seed down in that soil so it roots really well. And then once it gets rooted well, then it gets underneath the light, that's when it's really starting to grow. So definitely don't need to be real tall coming on germination. We do one small crop, a little different, and we do arugula, which is a smaller crop as well. We do 2 days germination, and it starts popping out of the tray. We take weight off, and then we take a tray, flip it upside down, put it in blackout for 1 day. I do not recommend any more on them if you're that close with the small trays or even the bigger ones. If you're that close with that on top, you're creating a lot of moisture in there. You don't want to leave that over 1 day because that's when you're going to have issues with mold. So 1 day in blackout at most on anything if you're trying to get them lengthier. If you're going to do that with that one, you could, and get it going a little bit faster, and then maybe less time underneath lights, or maybe get a little taller. Josh, how many hours are you and Jessica putting in combined? Jessica, how many hours are we putting in? Combined, we're probably around, I would say 50. That's with planting, harvesting, deliveries, and running the back end of the business. It's about 50 hours combined. She does a little bit more than I do because she does the bookwork stuff in the back end, make sure we get paid, all that stuff. But combined, it's about 50 hours combined. And really 2 busy days. Monday and Friday are the busy days. Friday planting and Monday harvesting. So them are the 2 busy days. And then take up probably 80% between the two, 80% of them hours. And that's what doing right about $2,000 a week in sales. Chris, if you're still here, what's your garden? What are you growing out in your garden? We mainly, 90% of ours is lettuce. Curious, what are you growing? We do not have a huge garden. We have enough to do lettuce and a few other things, beets and radishes. That's pretty much it. Tomatoes, cabbage, watermelon, lettuce, and cantaloupe. Yeah, them are that takes up a lot of space. Watermelons do for sure, and Brussels sprouts. Awesome. That is awesome. Is that are you selling that commercially, or is that just for family as well? We do a little bit of tomatoes, but we don't sell that. That's just for us, because tomatoes is everybody at a farmer's market has tomatoes, so why compete with them? That is our philosophy. Try to do things that not everybody else is doing at the markets, for sure. Versus, trying to compete with them and do tomatoes when they got tomatoes, and some of them are out there selling them for $1.50 a pound, which is really, really hard. Oh, just family like to sell, yeah. Grow more and sell it, and sell enough to get your cost back, for it, and basically feed your family for free. That'd be awesome. Josh, how many farmer markets did you guys do this last year? We did 5 total markets. We did 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. So we were quite busy running to markets and harvesting and planting and everything else. Now, the 50 hours I just talked about combined is this right now of no market season. So when market season hits here, it's obviously a lot more. Obviously a lot more. Does the music help plants grow? I think so. Everything should like music, a little bit of music, Trying to music first time in the stream tonight in the background. I hope it's not too loud and good for everybody listening and stuff. So, but yeah, I think so. It helps me harvesting and planting and everything else. Doesn't make it seem as long, for sure. So, yeah, scientific evidence shows it does. So, it can't hurt, right? That's my philosophy. It can't hurt. Did you start with restaurants, grocery stores, or? What we started with, the first commercially sales we had was a company called Market Wagon, which is I consider an online farmers market. They consider themselves a distributor, but if you don't know what Market Wagon is, where all the farmers can sell their stuff, and then they deliver it out for you. So you deliver it to one hub, hundreds of farmers deliver to one hub, and then they deliver it out for us, and then they take a percentage of the sales. So that was our actual first sales, was to that, and then direct to consumer was our second-ish. We did one pop-up market with a new bakery that was opening up, and then we got some customers off of that as well. But really it was to that Market Wagon, the online farmers market, the pop-up sale we got going on, and then home deliveries, and then restaurants/farmers markets about the same time. And now grocery stores. Grocery stores were probably 5th on that list, and by far is our biggest percentage of business now. What would you say the percentage is on grocery stores? 70% on grocery stores right now is our sales. Without the markets. When the markets come, that'll probably go down to 40% or so. How does Market Wagon work? I read they have to deliver in 2 days. Yes. So our market is delivered on Thursdays. Tuesday night, we get the email on it. So Tuesday at like 11 p.m., you get an email on it, and then you have to deliver on Thursday. So we grow right now, we grow in what we need to sell that we're selling to home consumers in grocery stores and restaurants. And then the percentage that we have left is what we're offering to Market Wagon, because you can put on there how many you want to put on there. If you got 10 left, 5 left, whatever it is, we only put on there what we have left that's coming off the tray. So say we're growing 20 trays of broccoli for the sales that we have from restaurants, grocery stores, and home consumers. and we only need 19 of them. That extra tray, so we'll put 5 broccolis on sale for the market wagon, and that's how we handle it. So it's not really any waste or any extra growing for them. And last year, when we got real busy with the farmers markets, we cut off market wagon and just stopped going to them because we were just too busy. So, and there's a link if you guys would like to look at it for vendors if it's in your area. Working on a new setup now, and welcome to the stream. Welcome to set now. Trays are here. Awesome. So the lights. Awesome. What lights did you get? And the fans just working on shelving. Starting with some local fancy food. Some local fancy food and wine and bar country. Lots of people possibilities here. Awesome. Yeah, wine and beer country. And fancy restaurants are definitely a target. Are you putting fans on each shelf, or are you just having fans circulating in the room? Just curious of that setup as well. Chris, what is the best part of doing it and the hardest part? The best part is that we have a lot of fresh food and we're getting high quality, dense nutrient food out to people. And there's always plants in your house, which provide you oxygen as well, better oxygen, offset benefit. The hardest part is growing the business, obviously, the business end of it, growing it, and that's what keeps you going and everything else. So you obviously got to have that and getting paid. And my least favorite, personally, is cleaning all the trays. But that's just a side note, part of doing business. So. Bringing in fans from AC Infinity. So them are going on each shelf. Yep. You probably don't need that, personally. We found out as long as you have air circulating in the room, we have one fan at one end, one fan at the other end, going down 2 aisles and blowing it, and it works fine. Now we do have one shelf that we have recently put fans on to help with the arugula airflow, and that's the only one. They'll work with multiples on there, but it's just costs when you start scaling up. Then fans start getting expensive when you start putting them on each shelf. They're not going to hurt. They'll help, but I don't think needed for each shelf. But definitely needed for some varieties. Maybe arugula is the only thing we found. Oh, yeah, Mason, question I forgot to ask you and everybody in here. How many lights are you doing per shelf? If everybody could put in the comments, how many lights you're doing per shelf? I'm curious. And what the height is distance, if you know that the distance on it. I got a tip. Might be able to add in and help you with the stretching if after I get the answer. So put in the comments how many lights you got per shelf and what's the distance. As I take a drink of water. Three. That's probably why your product is not stretching. When plants get the light source that they need and it's so close in the micros, they kind of stop growing a little bit because they're not stretching looking for light. The reason why you do a blackout period is a stretch for lights. So versus doing the blackout period, we use one light per shelf, and that helps stretch them a little bit as they got to still kind of look for light. They don't got an overabundance of light, and they'll stretch better. We started with 2 lights. And then we found out, we did an experiment, took one away, and they grew better with the one light. So that's my recommendation, is one light. But try it out for your environment. Take a light off or turn 2 off. Leave the center one and see how they do. And 11 inches, yep, that's 11 inches is what we got, shelf differences. Yep, I would go do experiment on both of them. Go to have your 3, go to 2, and go to 1, and see which works better to help stretch better. We found 1 works amazing. And side benefit, it takes less money to run because you ain't got as much power you're using. So, and infrastructure costs less as well. So, planning on 2, I would also recommend try 1, try 2, see which one works better. And if there's no difference, definitely go with 1 because it's going to save you money. Josh is also doing 2 40-watt lights per shelf, about 10 inches between shelves. Yep, full spectrums. Yep, you definitely need the full spectrum though. And the full spectrum lights, I think almost all of them come with shields on the side of them. Take the shields off if you're running 1 light. You don't need them. You don't need them if you're running more lights. They're not needed. We also painted our walls white in our grow room, which helps reflect more light in there as well. So that helps as well. Blue light 5K range will help stunt the growth and minimize the stretch. Yeah, we just use full spectrum LED white lights. None of the color stuff. Now, if I had again, I think I said this before, but if I had an area that, like some of the big growers have a big warehouse, and they just they got them where they can run them when they're not in there, that's fine. But if you're growing in your house, you don't want to be going into rooms with purple light, red light. It's going to hurt your eyes over time. So, got to wear shades. But definitely full spectrum. Marina is the lights that we have. Marina. They're a great price. If you guys don't know David from Micro Acres, he runs shop lights. Is all he does. Just normal old shop lights. Really cheap, and he is growing a major business right now. Major business. He has a big warehouse that he's outgrowing, and he just used shop lights. So I just did a 65K for my garden plants, did good under them, but the Marina purple, they did not like them and did not grow as good. Yeah. Just white light. That's all it needs. Nothing fancy. That stuff costs more money too. And if you guys are wanting to scale up and do more, you definitely want to keep your costs down as much as possible and still grow good. So highly recommend as low as cost you can with still being effective. One thing I do spend money on is trays. We use the bootstrap trays, which we have links. Shameless plug. But we do have links if you're getting trays in there. But the bootstrap trays are the best. We did have some of the bigger ones. They're flimsy. And if you were growing with them, with the flimsier ones, you definitely would need the 24-inch shelves because them hanging over me and flimsy like that won't be good. But with the bootstrap, it's not that big of a deal with the 18-inch shelves. So, yeah. Good trays that are going to last, so you're not going to have to replace and spend a whole bunch of money on them. You want stuff that's going to last as well. But lights, you don't need to spend a ton of money on lights. So to turn the question around that was asked to me, what do you guys find is the hardest part of the business that you've encountered so far, and if you need any help with it? Do you follow up with grocery stores through Range Me? No, do not use Range Me. Do you follow up with phone calls? Yes, phone calls, and mostly going in. For ones that we're trying to get and sell to, we go into them multiple times. Multiple touches. Sometimes you forget, and then they call you. So make sure they have your number for sure. But we did have one. We were trying to get it how they're further away, so it's not something we can go into all the time. Every week when we weren't selling to them, it would be impossible just to go into them. But now that we're selling to them, we go to them every week. But we kept on calling, missing the produce guy and everything else, and then he eventually called us back, not knowing we were trying to call him because apparently the message wasn't going to pass along, and started buying, and they're moving through quite a bit of product already. So, but yes, follow up is big. Even if the company has range meat, and you'll see that on there, go walk into them and talk to the produce manager. You can skip that. One grocery store that we got that is a huge grocery store chain. We only got one of their stores right now, but we're working on other ones. They use range meat, and you got to go through the process of filling the stuff out like range meat, but you go through them and do it versus having to go through range meat and pay that fee. So you don't need to use range meat. I feel like going in and being personal and talking to them is the best way to go. And if they say you got to use range meat, ask them if there's a workaround right that, so you don't have to pay that fee. Or if you really need in there and you want to get in there and they have to do that, yeah, obviously that's what you got to do. So what I ordered is the shallows, but you need deep for the greenhouse mega stores. Has super heavy duty trays. Huh? Yeah, I haven't looked at them at all. I'll put a note. I'll look at that. Hey, Chris. You use for UCB codes for stores. Let me put a link in here for you of who you used. It's not an referral link or anything like that. But we got it pretty cheap. But we'll give you a link. Order the bootstrap shallow trays. Yep, that's what we use, as you can see in the background here. We didn't go seek out to get the colored ones, but I kind of like them. But we got them when they were moving back to America, and they didn't have anything but the colored trays, so we had to take what we needed when we needed to grow there. Yep, super cheap. Yeah, well, there's some stuff that you need deep trays for. One product off the top of my head, nasturtiums. If you're going to grow nasturtiums, you definitely need deep trays, as it's more of a flower, and it's gonna need that deeper tray, so it doesn't fall over. So. Yeah, don't spend a bunch of money on these fee codes. You can find them cheap. Make sure you get one for each different product, not one for all your products. So I see people make that mistake. You have 10 products, you have 10 UCP codes, unique. So definitely that for sure. We now host, we have 20. We have 20 different UCP codes for our products. We have 20 different products we can do in the store. So we just got them all, bought them in batches of 10. This is what we bought them in for the first 10 and then the next 10. And there is the company that we used, upcs.com. It used to be Snap UCP, but they changed. So I'm assuming upcsnap.com probably is what it stands for. What other questions, guys? And I hope this is helping you guys all out and getting good information from these lives. Sorry there was no presentation training today. Just had an issue with the software, lost it, so wasn't able to have that. But I will do that next week on the mode tips. We'll redo that one. Technology sometimes is not your friend. And if you guys are liking the music, let me know. Thumbs up or yes, or just that little bit of music in the background. Does it help out? Do you not like it? Does it need to be louder or quieter? Because I can't really hear how loud it is on my end. And if you can't hear it, let me know. I can hear it a little bit, but it's a new feature on here. Trying it out. I'm definitely going to go check out that Mega store and see about what they got going on over there. Could be one touch lower, but it's close to perfect. Okay, thank you. How many miles are you from your delivery route, and how long does it take to complete? Well, we have 2 different delivery routes. One on Wednesdays and one on Thursday. So our Wednesday one takes 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And that's with going in the grocery stores and rotating the product as well. Because we restock all the grocery store shelves. Every grocery store that we have, we restock their shelves for them and rotate the product to make sure it's rotated and, get rid of any products bad, show it to them, whatever they approve. Yes, which they always take our word for it. Once you get to go to report with them. And then we just take that off the shelf so it's not bad. And then the Thursday one is a little bit longer because we are driving for our first stop an hour and a half out and coming back. So that one is about 5 hours. But it is 2 big grocery stores, and we're trying to get more within that group. So it is worth it as we're trying to build them markets. So sometimes you take a little bit of at the beginning, not as big, but it's going to grow. We're at about 400 on that route in sales. Our goal is to grow that one up to 1,000. We kind of use $1,000 a day kind of method. The Tuesday route's 1,500. So that one's bigger. But, we're pretty much almost maxed out on that one. Just space in a cooler, really, harvesting. So we got to get our cool bot in and get our walk-in going here very, very soon. We try growing on crushed sheets. Excuse me. No, we have not. We've done the Terra fiber mats, and we're getting ready to do another experiment. We're going to do a video. We were contacted by them and asked if how we were doing and everything else with them, and if we would be willing to do and share a video with them on how well or bad they grow and everything else. So getting ready to do an experiment on them, a true experiment now that we're growing well, and see how they do, and give them a report back. So maybe to become a promotional thing with them or whatever. So if I could grow with mats and grow the same density, same seeding rates, and same volume of yield on them, I would definitely go to them. So we'll see what we can do. But I have not tried the crushed sheets. I may look at that. I just found that there are 3 types of trays: light duty and then mega heavy duty. I think that it is 10 trays for $35 and then mega heavy duty. $350 a tray. That's pretty good. That's a good deal. Not bad at all. Is that the deep ones, right? Deep ones. But yeah, that's a good deal. Because I would like some sturdier trays for our lettuce starts, for our lettuce blocks for the garden for sure. Because they get kind of flimsy. But that would be a good advantage to have sturdier trays. And sorry I missed that question, Chris. What would you do differently if you started over? That's a tough one. I'm trying to think. If we started over today, what would I do different? Of growing and selling commercially? What do you think? I'm going to ask the boss the question. Yeah, I mean, more research on packaging, number one. The first packaging we started with, the first clamshell, not even clamshell, but it was a tube system lid. Everything else was bigger, deeper. Do more research and getting the thinner ones, the better ones there would be one thing. I wouldn't start growing on carpet. We did grow on carpet when we first started because we just wanted to go. I would get the hardwood flooring in like we got now, and not grow on carpet. Start with 1 light versus 2. Save that upfront cost. Buy the right amount of trays. When we started growing, we just 30 and 30. And then we started growing right away pretty fast with Market Wagon and doing the market. We started growing right away. We had 30 trays we needed to grow. And we didn't have nothing for weight on top. So we had to go to the store and get some cheap trays to put on top so we can put weights on local here. So definitely knowing that, you need more solid trays than you need bottom trays, knowing that. Having the workstation set up, cleaning the tray station, we now have a 3-compartment sink. Maybe not that, maybe a tub out in the garage or something like that that's deep that you can clean the trays in, because we were doing them at the kitchen sink. So that's how we first started cleaning them and doing them all like that. And that was annoying, and stacking them on the countertop and all that and everything else. So there would be some things that I would do differently, and start with a better plan of how to clean the trays. We didn't have a plan to clean the trays at all. Didn't have a plan of watering the trays. When we seeded the tray, when we put the trays down and put soil in them, we had to take them to the kitchen from our other room and water them, bring them back, seed them, take them back to the kitchen, water them again, and then put them underneath germination. So it was not a very efficient process. So knowing that you're going to need all that process and having that down definitely would be one thing that I would do different. Getting the process down, knowing what your process needs to be, but I guess that comes with a learning experience as well. Yep, what you got for the garden, awesome. I will definitely check them out, for sure. I hope I answered your question well there, Chris. Them are some things that I would do. And I gotta get the arugula into blackout. They're still up there, but they need to go into blackout for our tray flipped up top called blackout. And I just put them right on the shelf on the lights, flip the tray upside down while it's on there. One day, good to go. So we planted them ones late one night to kind of do a makeup. They're gonna be a little bit shorter, but for the next planting, next one, but it'll be fine. Just to make up a little bit, because we had a bigger order come in, our restaurant up their arugula order from 6 ounces, 10 to 14 ounces, which is another whole tray. So we grew 2 just to make sure. Nope, have not needed to be inspected. We're not going, we grow organically processes, but we're not going for organic certification. We're a home grower, which the state of Illinois has even passed a better law that just went into effect this year, January 1st, on that. So you definitely, if you're in Illinois, you definitely check that law out. It's very good for home growers. So no inspection needed. We do have a cottage license, which we don't really need, that the farmer's market, the farmer's market we go to, asked that we have it. But the health department's like, you don't need this. But I'll give it to you. So that I'm fully certified in ServSafe, actually ServSafe instructor, if I can talk, instructor. So we have all that stuff. We were in restaurants. I was in restaurants for 20 plus years. She's probably 15, 12 to 15, something like that. So that background helps out a lot too. So all right, anything else? Any other questions or anything, guys? Ladies, gentlemen? If not, we'll be hopping off here soon. Again, just Q&A today. We'll have that training on mold next week for you. I kind of like this Q&A going. It's kind of nice. Maybe just do that video as a video and put out there for you. Don't know. See. Yep, you're welcome, Chris. Glad I can help in anything. All right. See the count going up a little bit. Somebody else might have jumped on. And if not, I guess we will go ahead and doesn't look like any more questions are coming in, so we'll go ahead and sign off for the night. Glad I could help you guys. Again, if you got any more questions, reach out. Oh, what is your biggest expense? Packaging is our biggest expense, along with soil. That's our two biggest expenses. Seeds are relatively cheap, for sure. If you buy them in bulk, like we're doing now. I do not recommend in the beginning, but buy seeds, make sure it works out for you. Then buy in bulk, buy the biggest quantity you can. True Leaf will let you buy in commercially wholesale bulk. You just got to buy 500 pounds of one product. Oh, it's mixed now, I was told. So as long as you buy 500 pounds from them, you can get a really good deal. So if anybody's there, let me know. Because if you are, we can share the cost, maybe get it going. Yep. You have a good night as well. Nope. I will have that soon. We got it, but I haven't started using it yet. So soon. I actually just did an experiment of no soak peas. Do not recommend. But I wanted to see what it would do with it. So we did do an experiment of that. So shelving, the biggest upfront cost. Yeah. Shelving, lights, trays, the equipment. That's obviously your biggest expense for upfront. But ongoing, it's going to be your packaging. Please don't use bags. Use a container of some kind. But packaging will be your biggest expense, along with your soil, depending on what kind of soil you use. But the soil cost for us per tray is just about $1, just under $1 a tray. And we buy in bigger bulk, we can get that down some more. So, but yeah, that's your biggest upfront expense. That's why you start small and let the company profits buy the rest of the stuff. That's my recommendation. So, all right, I'm gonna head and jump off here. It was great talking to everybody. Enjoyed answering all your questions. Come back next week if you have more. And check out all the rest of the videos on our YouTube channel. Buckwheat will be out soon. Just a little delay on that one, but Buckwheat will be our next video coming out. And we'll have more on the business end videos coming out. So check them out, and we will see everybody next week and on through YouTube. Have a good day.